Greetings, fellow Gothamites. Tiki here,
Blue Dragon 5.
and we're back to cover episode 19 of season 3 of Fox's retelling of the Dark Knight mythology, entitled All Will Be Judged. So join us as we venture into Batman's birthplace.
And explore Gotham.
Top marks, Dragon, top marks. I did not mess up. So, all right, folks. So we are back. We're going through Gotham. Of course, we're recording all of this after the two-part season finale has aired. This is being it doesn't matter when this is being recorded. I don't want to age it, but it's after that. It's about a week afterwards. So, Dragon, you and I were having some fun with this. We're going through one episode at a time. We're kind of treating this as like the B grade Diet Coke version of our animated Batcave series, where you've seen the whole season, and I am getting myself caught up episode by episode as we're going through this. So, that should provide some fun. Like, for example, Dragon, Catherine died?
Yep.
What? I did not see that coming whatsoever, Dragon. Wow.
I told you it'd be surprising.
Yep. Yep. Oh, man. Okay, so let's just dive right into it, Dragon. Of course, I'll have my little guessing game at the end. We'll have some fun with it.
All right.
Okay.
The episode starts off recapping where we one of the places we ended last episode with Penguin Enigma's quote-unquote happy reunion.
Now, Edward, you should never tell a lie.
It's very, just to be in case I haven't seen, for some reason they haven't seen the previous episode, very Pinocchio-esque bird
cages. Yes.
I just love the fact that Corvallis puts their prisoners in bird cages.
It's so appropriate, right?
Okay, anyway, this is a great stylistic idea, I just gotta say. And by the way, I just love that when they recapped it, at least they recapped it with purpose, so like from better angles, the way they shot it here. So let's see, so essentially, in shooting me, you gave me something to live for. Revenge, says the Penguin.
As Ivy can attest to, because all she's been doing this season is reviving dead people to go off on revenge sprees. That's kind of Ivy's gimmick.
Kind of a new hobby.
Right.
A little botany, a little alchemy. So let's see. So then we have this bit where Riddler, gets real close to the ceiling, like he kind of lightly hits.
Like a Three Stooges slap.
Yeah, he kind of hits her, very comedically slaps Penguin's forehead to see if he's real. Because of course, let's remember, Riddler informing his identity, he was taking these pills that made him hallucinate Penguin was there. So he's making sure that it is in fact the real Penguin, not just a hallucination. You're real. Because I love just the delivery of Robin Lord Taylor. It's like, ow, or just some reaction.
Ow.
Just some hysterical reaction he's got.
Yeah, a lot of good reactions from Lord Taylor this episode. The first,
and of course, Michael Smith is going like, "Wow, you're difficult to kill. You're really difficult." I just love everyone's going to bring that up. Like, apparently, I'm very difficult to kill, Jim. Just
oh god.
more cockroach than Penguin. I love that line from the Riddler. There's more cockroach than Penguin, because that is true. Penguin does keep getting killed and coming back a lot.
It's happened at least, 2 or 3 times in the series so far?
Pretty much. Of course, here we get some fun childish and distrustful bickering between the two of them. Kind of a fun pairing.
Yeah, of course, Ed's going on about his new identity that he, that he got after he killed Penguin. Newsflash, Ed, I'm not dead.
He's going off on because Riddler has this thing where he's just dying to hear the Penguin call him Riddler, but he refuses. So basically,
exactly.
You don't call me Ed. Don't call me Ed. Yeah, because he mentioned that he became the Riddler when I became the Riddler when I killed you, and then we the newsflash, Ed, I'm not dead.
Okay, so then I guess kind of comes to an end. It's like Penguin's just like, oh, you might think I'm in a low place right now, but I have you right where I want you for my interpretation.
Yes, you came back to kill me, and then you ended up in prison yourself, Oswald.
Okay, then we cut to Wayne Manor, and alarms are going off.
Finally, after all Selena Kyle's intrusions, they finally got an alarm for those windows.
Right, right.
So we have a very familiar open window, which of course is the usual pathway Selena takes, and then we have Doppelbruce versus Selena.
Hmm. Hmm. I love how she's just kind of drilling into Doppelbruce. She's just like, "You're just a cheap knockoff." Doppelbruce, he's just like, "Well, it might sound strange, but I'm glad you're still alive." I don't know. Doppelbruce is just really creepy this episode, I think. I don't have a lot of sympathy for him left. I don't know.
Well, I mean, yeah, I kind of like this. First of all, I just love the idea of this fight. The way this is kind of choreographed, stage, very reminiscent of kind of the Catwoman Batman fight you'll get on rooftops years later. So it's kind of like a fun little glimpse of the future with this whole scene.
Sure, sure.
Um, let's see. Oh, by the way, it's kind of a fun mirror we have. It's with our opening here, where we had Nigma and Penguin, and going at. Now we have Selena and Doppelbruce going at, like two people coming back from the dead, wanting to kill the other. So it's kind of
And
a
then
fun
Ivy's
mirror.
just like shrugging her shoulders, like, "Why do all my friends want to kill each other?"
But I don't know. I kind of like this part of Doppelbruce. You're right. It is creepy, but again, it's kind of that weird kind of. Doppelbruce, he's kind of glad that she's alive, and he's still like very steadfast. And I did what I had to do. You were going to tell Alfred, so I had to knock out the window. But again, he didn't want to do it. It's kind of that weird.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
Anyway, then she's getting in with the personal insult, saying you're just a cheap knockoff who kidnapped the real Bruce Wayne. Doppelbruce, of course, is now armed with a fire poker, which is very dangerous.
Oh yeah. And then I think that's about where Alfred comes in.
Yes. Well, Selena stabs Doppelbruce in the side. She stabs.
And then you can imagine, like, Alfred, like, what kind of kinky stuff are these kids into? No, knock it off, you two.
I won't really go there with it, but
I don't know.
it like stabs him in the side. I don't really get where that's going, but okay. Anyway, so before she kills him, Alfred intervenes. Of course, just kind of screwing up screwing up the battle there.
Yeah, and it's like I thought Doppelbruce was kind of convincing at first. He's just like, "She attacked me, Alfred. She attacked me." But I don't know. Alfred, sees through it pretty quickly.
Yeah, unfortunately, he didn't kind of catch on to it on his own, but at least he caught on to it in the moment here, though. Like, Bruce like KO'd Selena with the fire poker, and he's not really
right.
He's not like saying we got to help Selena. He's just saying, "Oh my God, we got to get rid of her. Get rid of her."
And then, of course, Alfred kicks into like military mode. He's like, "Where is Bruce? I swear to God, you're going to tell me you're going to feel a whole lot of pain."
Because, of course, you realize that, the thing it gives away to is he sees that Doppelbruce has been stabbed and he's not feeling it, which he knows that Doppelbruce has like a thing where he can deal with a lot. He's numb to pain. So he realized, oh my God, it is Doppelbruce. He's calling Selena, like trying to get off. He's not the real Bruce Wayne. And so then you're right, Alfred, of course, you learn in this episode especially, do not take Bruce Wayne away from Alfred, or else you're going to feel.
No, Alfred is basically like Liam Neeson.
Yeah, he's very Liam Neeson-esque.
Yep. That was an inevitable reference. Anyways,
oh, yeah. Let's see. So right. So then Alfred's getting real physical, demanding to know where Bruce is, and we have a great line by Doppelbruce before the scene. The scene really kicks in. This is the scene from the promo that was really hyped up. Was this whole I'm serving a greater purpose. Where's Master Bruce? Where's Bruce when he's serving a greater purpose than himself? As am I.
Oh yeah.
Then they begin their battle. I love the headbutting gag. He headbutts Alfred, and Alfred headbutts him back.
Again, a lot of physical comedy this episode.
Yeah, we got a really cool line here, and this is why I'm having still like a little bit of sympathy, intrigue on Doppelbruce here, where he says, "You're always kind to me, Alfred, even when you knew I wasn't Bruce."
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
And then Alfred gives, actually genuinely pleads to know where Bruce is, and then he's knocked out brutally. And unfortunately, I gotta tell you, unfortunately, Bruce he vanishes from the season after this.
Oh no, really? Oh god.
It is very mysterious.
Oh
He,
man. Oh Jesus Christ. Oh god, that's daring. Wow.
so I'm
Okay.
just I don't get
Okay.
your hopes up going forward. Just so you know, he's.
That's it. Wow. Okay.
I know it's kind of there's a lot that's going to be going on the next couple episodes, so maybe that's why. But I'm hoping they're going somewhere with them in season 4, which they released. They actually have the first script already for season 4.
Yeah, we have the title and everything, right?
Yeah. Pax Penguina, I think it's called.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have theories, but we'll get to at the very end of the season.
Of course.
The point is, just Bruce, he's going to be out of the equation after this. We can assume. Well, he's burned his
That is
burned
an
his cup.
unceremonious write-off, I must say.
Yeah, it occurred to me after I watched the finale. Oh man, that was a doozy of finale. Wait a minute, yeah, what happened to Doppelbruce?
Is Doppelbruce like the Huel of Gotham?
Well, I mean, he's been more built in than.
Well,
than
I mean, I guess he's probably like the Harvey Dent of Gotham.
Well, again, I think these are bad analogies because again, we built him up. He just kind of vanishes unceremoniously. He hasn't been there at all.
Right. Or I'm sorry. I was trying to say Harvey Dent is the heel of Gotham, not Doppelbruce.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Well, still, again, let's not do the Huel analogy because again, Huel's more integral. Anyways,
yes, Huel is less integral than Doppelbruce, but more integral than Harvey Dent.
I mean, again, Huel has major plot points attached to him in Breaking Bad and better.
It's like the evolutionary scale. You've got Doppelbruce, you've got Huel, you've got Harvey Dent. Oh, God.
Okay, anyway, back on point. So the next scene, Bruce and the shaman return to Gotham.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're still calling him the shaman.
Yes, and then we have like the perfect cold open shot. To me, I know again, yeah, we unfortunately couldn't just
it's
open
not a
the
cold
scene.
Open. Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, the ending that gets us to it's a great thing. Bruce returns to Gotham and he sees Gotham. That what he sees turns into the logo. That's pretty cool.
No, you're right. That is a good kind of stylistic twist on the little Gotham intro that we have. That's cool.
Yeah. Would have made for an awesome cold open if that was just the only scene.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway,
oh
nuts.
boy, can we just pretend that the Lee stuff doesn't happen?
Tiki, I wish so much that.
I mean, I'm sure it gets worse given the ending of this episode. Like, I'm
Tiki,
sure it gets worse.
Just so the folks out there know, this is like something I'm sure Tiki's going to enjoy reminiscing. I remember before getting into like the remaining episodes of this season, I warned Tiki, basically building up, just telling him to watch him at some point. If I describe to him what happens in mainly the upcoming episodes, basically when we're getting this far into it, basically this is the episode actually where I told you this. So if I told you what happened, you wouldn't believe me. So this episode, and the next two following, folks, especially this episode and the rest that are coming, you would not believe me if I tried to describe to you what happens.
Oh, God, okay.
And as you can see, the ending kind of was the beginning of that sort of statement.
Of course.
So, oh boy, let's get started. All right, so we have the Dumb Lee nightmare.
All right, so she's
That's what I wrote in my notes. Dumb Lee nightmare.
Oh, Mario, I had the worst nightmare. There was this virus that brought out people's
we're ripping off the shower moment from the soap
right.
opera.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, what was me?
So she tells Mario that, oh my God, you were shot. Basically, the cliffhanger of season 3. The mid-season cliffhanger. And then we do have one. I will say this: there's one really hilarious.
The Mario gag about him being taller than Gordon.
Yes,
yeah, I like
hilarious.
that.
Oh my God, that was really funny.
Why would I be jealous of Jim Gordon? I'm taller than him.
I just love that's the one. It's obviously a clue to. Okay, it has to be a dream come on. But I love this. This reminds me of the good times we've had with Mario. Remember the whole she loves.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
You know, the whole we get out of this gag where it's the flower thing where he's picking the eye. She loves me.
Him. She loves me.
So at least some fun Mario good times. A little reminder of the good times we had with Mario. All right, so then we have really eerie kind of trippy stuff here. Where the takes through.
Oh God, he's like, all right, you didn't lose me, Lee. I'm right here. Now take your medicine and go off to bed.
He takes a wine glass.
He takes a. I don't even want to spend the mental energy like interpreting what this means.
He takes a wine glass and it's like he cuts his wrist. So basically, he's pouring his own Alice touch virus infected blood into the glass so you can drink it.
Oh, right. God.
Basically, kind of foreshadowing another scene in the episode.
So is this like? Does this dream like compel Lee to?
No, I'm saying it. I'm saying it's a foreshadow for what the arc she goes on the episode.
One time I'm not complimenting Lee here. I am complimenting the direction. I do like the moment where she wakes up and then she instantly like knocks the wine glass over on her bedstand.
It's funny. It's just I didn't like that moment. I just like,
really?
Like, come on, Lee, you're going to destroy your own wine glass like that.
Oh, I knew you'd have something to say about that. Like,
I'm just saying, yes, that to me. Just honestly, I read that as like it's boiled down like my issues with Lee this season. Just like the way she's like nonchalant, just like just like knocks it off, like screw this wine glass. First of all, you're going to leave a stain. Second of all, you're gonna. I don't think that might not even. We learn later on this is her place. I'm just saying. Initially, I thought it was like Falcone's place. I mean, you're ruining Don Falcone's place.
Right.
Again, it's like she doesn't. It kind of has like I don't give a bleep sort of moment. She just knocks it over. Like, come on, man. That's what
Don Falcone's wine glass is like the last straw.
Yeah. Well, it's not Don Falcone.
I know, but it's funny to think it is.
We said, it's just kind of like that's kind of what our issues believe in boil down. She's not really. It's like Lee, the character, doesn't care. She just like I don't care. Just,
right.
I've given up. I'm just here because I can't get a plane ticket out of here.
God. Again, Dragon, it kind of makes me wonder how Ben McKenzie and Marina Baccarin are doing in real life. I don't know.
Well, again, they're now getting married, and of course they had a child together, so that's definitely a good sign. But I'll imagine things are going well.
It's just this, man. This just brings us into such a world of like mistrust and despair.
I hate to say it again, folks. Just I think it's kind of a Yoko thing, where it's basically in real life they're dating, and that was kind of they met each other on the show. That's the idea. They met each other on the show, and they got we got these two kids to get on the show, and we're going to grow up with them sort of mentality, and kind of the Joni loves Chachi mentality. And basically reached the point where Lee kind of was written out of the ending of like she moved out of Gotham. We're kind of done with her, so we don't need her in the show anymore. But like, we got to get her in because she's married to the guy in real life. Well, she's involved with the guy in real life.
Right.
That's kind of basically they forced her in, and now they're running out of it. I'll get into that more after the end. Next episode, I'll get into it more. Let's move on.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So now we have Gordon and Bullock. They're kind of going over possible. This is kind of a cool, like, Court of Owls, like Scott Snyder-esque thing, like these, like...
Oh, yes.
Like, explain it, Dragon. You can explain it better than I can, I'm sure.
Absolutely. This is a great bit. There's a great bit in the Court of Owls book that we do absolutely reference here. It's a great thing. So basically, Jim's trying to sell Bullock on this hunch that the Court of Owls has multiple secure locations, in secret secure locations, like safe houses in Gotham. Yeah, because he looked into Catherine and basically looked into Catherine's holdings, and they found there was a property here. The term was a safe house. So Jim basically believes, what if they're holding the virus bomb there, like the big one they're going to use on a portion of the city. And basically, there's this tenement building in Miller Harbor, which by the way, Frank Miller reference to Batman, Miller Harbor.
Nice.
And they have the blueprints and they have the layout. They have that all strung out. And they're looking for there's no sign of it here. And basically, the thing they realize there might be a secret room in there, which in the Scott Snyder book, the idea is the Court of Owls in their buildings in Gotham. There's always, and it's like an actual architectural thing. Scott Snyder loves architecture and history of cities. Is that there's sometimes in buildings there will be a secret 13th floor built in certain buildings.
And the idea is that it's small enough that it goes kind of unnoticed, right?
Yes, absolutely, yes. And basically, there's a great scene in the book where Batman is he's looking into all these secret, ancient, basically from it's like a safe house from every era of the Court of Owls. Essentially, each safe house is this is in 2006.
Probably besides the Labyrinth, that was some of the coolest stuff in the book for me.
Absolutely, and that's the terrifying idea of the Court of Owls that you think Gotham City, and then you have this new layer of history. Oh my God, these guys have been in these buildings and secret floors you never even knew about. So that's kind of I just love they kind of draw a reference like that in here, and it does kind of feed into the plot here, where the Court of Owls might be hiding the bomb. So it's a really natural way of taking stuff from the book and putting it in the show. The secret 13th floor idea. So let's see. So basically, they're looking. there would be dozens of locations by that logic. So then Bullock's kind of wondering, well, why not wait for Catherine's call so we can get like another lead? Now they don't know the bridge has been necessarily burned with Catherine quite yet.
Oh yeah, right.
Because again, I imagine they're thinking they can just pass it off on the Penguin because they don't know she knows about the ID badge.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Basically, if we can do it, if we can do it quietly, basically if we can do it before before she's on to us, it'll work out for the better.
Yeah, it's a time-sensitive matter.
Yeah, so she doesn't like get wise to him or anything, and they can end this. The sooner they can end this, the better. The sooner they can less risk, less chance. And then Lucius says there's
well, Gordon mentions that Lucius mentioned something.
Yeah, like there's a secret room in the basement.
Oh, of course Lucius said that. What's your issue with Lucius? He's smarter than me.
Oh, Bullock.
Bullock is in top form this episode, I think.
I don't think we've ever had a bad Bullock line, to be honest with you.
I don't think so. We'd have to trench the catacombs.
All right, let's see. So Bullock's questioning why they're. This is funny. So basically, they're in this basement lair right now. They're in the basement looking for. Basically, they're in
like the David Fincher lair because Dragon. I don't know how familiar you are with David Fincher, but he does a lot of camera tricks with flashlights and stuff like that. He loves his abandoned, decrepit buildings and stuff like that.
Right. So essentially, I believe the reason they're at the basement is basically, I think Lucius pointed out the most likely place to start would be this basement location. Mm. So for one of the secret hiding places at the courthouse. So Bullock's questioning why is it that we're never in a place they never pick a place like a brewery or a strip joint.
Or a casino. Come on.
I love that Gordon has that idea. This is the fun back and forth between he throws out a casino. Exactly. All I'm asking for is a little consideration. Just so it's a fun Bullock Gordon back and forth. Now, of course, that's what I love when we have these sorts of dialogues. It's like hitting the trifecta for me. Not only do we have Gordon and Bullock, and we have Gordon and Bullock kind of bouncing back and forth. We also have flashlights and darkness and big kind of Snydery and payoff.
Sure.
Trifecta. All right. So let's see, after the flashlight shots, Bullock's working on the lights, working on getting the lights on, so they have to just do it by flashlight, which is something I love that we rarely do they mention this on procedurals, by the way, of why don't we just turn on the light? It's always we gotta use flashlights because it looks cool.
Right.
So while Bullock's fiddling around, he actually finds the opening to the secret secret passageway.
Mm-hmm.
I meant to do that, he says. Then we have a cool old school looking room, again, very much identical to very much like the Courthouse book. And this kind of the secret rooms we're talking about, very much so.
Yeah, it's very well adapted. In general, I think the series has kind of gone off the rails in terms of trying to adapt the storyline of the Court of Owls, the book. But I think they've got the iconographies down. You know what I mean?
Certainly. Anyway, so then they find a crystal owl. Now, of course, we remember the crystal owl from the whole.
Sure.
And again, I was worried they might forget that entirely because that was a big deal when they went through all this trouble.
I can't believe that they paid this off, and yet Doppelbruce is just a fart in the wind.
I know. So, of course, the crystal owl thing introduced Selena's mother, and also
I legitimately did not think we were going to get a payoff to this dragon. I really didn't.
And we had that great bit where just Jerome unnecessarily, as Joker would do to Batman, just destroys the big key plot point of the season, just to screw with Batman. Alfred's going, oh, come on! They finally pay that off too, but it's the fact that there's another crystal owl. The one from earlier was destroyed. It has a big old map of Gotham on it. So they shine their lights through it, and they find, oh my God, it's not only is it a map of Gotham, it's a map of Gotham marked with markings of basically all the Court of Owl's kind of secret 13th floor hideouts.
Mm-hmm.
And Gordon's figuring those could be possible bomb locations.
Yeah, really cool stuff.
So then a little grenade enters, a little smoke grenade enters the fray.
And
Holy Mother
of Science!
Saints.
I wasn't sure. I'm sorry.
I would like that one better, to be honest with you. It'd be like a
Holy Mother of Science.
Yes. It makes no sense, but it's funny.
Okay, and then I just have in my notes oh boy, here we go with the Judge Dredd knockoff, evil Judge Dredd. Oh boy.
Well, Diggy, actually, there was a Batman villain in the animated series. It was a one-off. It was like this original for the animated one. They had the Judge as a character, so there was a character. I don't want to get into it. It was.
I'm sure he wasn't as memorable as Boss Biggs Dragon.
No, but he had a big reveal, and that was literally the last episode they ever did of.
Really?
Not of again. This is like the redesign, New Adventures. Like the last one they had was the Judgment Day, which introduced the new vigilante by the name of the Judge.
Okay, yeah. All right.
I know you'd find the payoff hilarious, but we don't have time to get into it. So the point is, Barnes is back as the quote-unquote executioner.
I promised I would judge you, James Gordon. I've come to fulfill that promise.
Now, here's something. The scythe kind of axe, executioner's blade gauntlet. So Barnes is armed. He has a cool costume, I gotta say.
I do like the look. I mean, it's over the top. It kind of reminds me like less stark 1960s and more like it's almost kind of like a mix of Schumacher and Burton in a way. It's kind of got that. It's got the over the top quality of Schumacher, but it's got the like dark and twisted goth element of Burton.
All right. Well, here's the big reference. It might be Tiggy. And this is like I love that they're referencing this. I'm just saying the fact that he has like one hand with the executioner's blade, which initially to me looked like a scythe, and of course this is the famous look of the Phantasm for Batman Mask of the Phantasm has one scythe. Basically his executioner glove is exactly like the Phantasm's.
Right.
I'm just saying it's a cool pull if they're going for that. I'm just saying something because Phantasm shows up, your angel of death awaits.
Mm-hmm.
He passes, he kills people. That's the gist of it. So the point is, this might be a cool little subtle Phantasm reference. Point is, Scythe Gauntlet, Barnes is super strength, and he's all armored up, and he's got grenades and crap. So bad combination for our two modestly armed detectives. So Barnes and Nick, so we have the reveal there. You haven't lost a step, Jim. I just love this history between Barnes and Jim is kind of paying off in dialogue in these fights. Just seems
that is one of the good things I really like with this episode with Barnes. Is you're right, there is a sense of history there for sure.
And also there was like a little bit of admiration he had for Bullock, so that's kind of brought up here and there. It's almost like kind of the father figure talking about his children in a way, just kind of talking.
And
about
of course, Jim is the one that like James is like the Charles McGill, and then Bullock is like the Jimmy McGill.
Absolutely, it's sort of the
James Gordon is the one to be proud of, and then Jimmy McGill is Bullock is the one everyone loves.
One could say proud of your boy.
No. Oh God.
Okay,
I say, gentlemen, that I'm proud of my boys.
Right, we could have Michael Chiklis actually
exactly
singing that. So, so again, you haven't lost a step, Jim, and then he deflects Bullock. Can't say the same for you, Bullock. Then we have a really cool looking fight. The scythe. The Jim's neck is a really cool bit where he holds up the Jim's neck and he says, "I promise to punish you for your crimes," and he knocks him out instead of like cutting his throat. It's a really cool bit.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, let's see. We have Alfred kind of frantically on the phone with the GCPD.
Always calling Jim Gordon. Jim Gordon never picks up.
Right. It's like this big back and forth. Let's see. Selina's trying to explain her side of the story. She's just saying, "Oh God, help me out here." Like,
and basically, Alfred's telling Selina that she needs to help out, and she's.
I love the moment. I love the moment where she's like, like she says something to elicit a response from Alfred, where it's like, "My boy is still alive."
Yes,
I love that moment. I love just the desperation on Alfred right there. Just the desperation. Go ahead.
What we have is that she's kind of quick to move on the classic Catwoman thing. Like I have no stake in this. So kind of like the Dark Knight Rises thing. So then halfway, it's like very classically Catwoman. She, Selina told Alfred about, she basically kind of has almost like an "I told you so" bit where she reminds Alfred, "Hey, I told you guys not to go poking the Court of Owls, and now they poke back." That's what you get with Doc Bruce and all that stuff. And basically, Selina smartly, she kind of doubts that Bruce is alive, and then Alfred throws that great line at her, just saying, "My boy's still alive."
Yeah, that's great. Then Alfred really gets on her. He's like, "You're gonna help me find her," and like you said, she's kind of like, wants to retreat into the Catwoman. Like, "No, this isn't my fight." Then, oh God, I love this. I love the side of Alfred Dragon, even though this is the side of Alfred being harsh to Selina that we can live with, right? This is decking her in the face.
Absolutely. I mean, this is like here's the great bit here is that I love right off the bat before he gets into like the whole you're basically tearing her down. He says, basically calls her out in the whole, like, you were mad at Bruce for dumb reasons sort of thing. It's like, oh, you're still mad at Master Bruce. Well, get over it, essentially.
That boy has been loyal to you, and he's been good, and he's been a friend, and now he's in trouble, and you won't even lift a finger. You're a disgrace, just like your mom. Oh, man.
Yeah. He just tells you,
I mean, like I said, he's being really harsh, but it's true. Everything he's saying is totally true.
Yeah, so I also love the insult he throws at the mother, saying, "You're wonky con artist, mother."
Oh, God. Right.
They just tells her to
go run away then, and don't ever come back here.
Yeah. Yeah. So meanwhile, we have young witnesses telling Bullock that he's basically a young kid, teenager, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Young guys that saw Barnes driving away in a Genevieve's meat truck.
Yep.
Once he has Jim in the truck, so they track the truck, they find Jim. That's the genesis of that scene. There it goes off by really quick likes. Meanwhile, Penguin.
All right, back at the Pinocchio cages, Penguin's kind of filing at the bars, trying to make a blade. Then Nigma's just critiquing him. He's like, "Oh, you're making the blade too thin, Oswald. It won't go through me when it'll break off when you try and stab me."
And this is just such a funny dynamic. This is just like, the two of these guys, they want it's like your classic Batman villain dynamic. One of them wants the other, they both want each other dead, and yet they're just so hilariously kind of mocking each other while they're doing, like, "Oh, your attempt to kill me's flawed." Of course, this episode, Riddler would just tear down everyone, intellectually, saying, "Oh, this will never work. Logistically, this will never work." And of course, Penguin has much experience in this, so that's funny.
Right. Let's see. Then they get into like the whole.
Very childish.
They get into the whole back and forth, like, "I called you Edward because that's your name. Edward.
This is the childish stuff I'm talking about. It's like, Edward, just to screw with the Riddler.
Oh God.
And he calls Penguin pathetic because while Riddler's trying, basically how they got to their predicaments is, he calls Penguin pathetic because, "Well, I'm here trying to find out who runs Gotham. You're here because I didn't love you back."
Which is very true. It's very true.
Penguin says, "Yes, but I'm also here because you crumbled my empire, and you shot me."
All good points. Oh God. Okay, and then we get the physical comedy here, Dragon. The physical comedy. Let's see.
This is hysterical. Again, Corey Michael Smith cracks me up so much in the scene. Just the exuberance, like that big old smile he gets after. That's the thing that cracks me up. Is like the way his eyes go wide. It's very Gorshin-esque the way he exaggerates.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like he doesn't do the laugh or anything. He just has like that big old smile and excitement among him. So what happens here?
Let's see. He's like, I think Penguin's basically threatening him, like, "Make one move to escape, and I'll call the guards." And then, as Penguin's taking, we have
the food gag. That's why I poisoned your coffee.
Yeah, he's taking a drink of coffee, and he's like, "Oh, I bribed the gags to poison your coffee." That's not true, is it? No, but you know what is true, at Oswald? I stole this start. This is just...
I did steal this poison dart.
It's so silly.
And Penguin's like about to get onto a rant or something, and then as Riddler is picking the lock, he then basically uses he's like a straw or something, and he basically uses like a blowgun. He takes the little. Basically, the idea is the court doesn't want to kill him. See, the Talons aren't instructed to kill him, so they have to tranquilize dart him.
Right.
Using one of the trank darts. Like a
this reminds me of like a little sibling throwing Legos at you or something like that.
Except basically blow darts. He blow darts Penguin in the neck, and before he can really freak out,
got a hysterical reaction. He's just like, "Ow!"
Then Penguin goes dazed, and he's on the floor. And again, Riddler has this exuberant like laugh.
Oh my God!
And then he escapes, and it seems like Penguin's about to escape. I mean, Riddler's about to escape, but then Penguin on the ground. I love this. He's taking his metal tray. He's like, clanging on the ground.
This is a great move.
And Riddler's like, "What are you doing? Stop that!" And basically, then the Talons arrive and just like, and basically they club the Riddler, like beat him up a little bit for trying to escape. Oh, it's so again so childish and so petty. These are what Gotham's villains is doing, and it does vaguely remind me of a bit from Death of the Family, where basically all the main Batman villains, including Penguin, Riddler, and Two Face, but the main three aside from Joker, they're all trapped in a cell together. And basically, they were kind of bickering and stuff, and it's they don't really go at each other like it's like they have like these kind of bits of dialogue like Penguin.
Again, I just can't get over just how petty the dart is. Like I said, it's like he throws it with all the pettiness of like a spoiled little brother, like throwing Legos at his older brother for hogging the video games or something. It's just like, oh, you're gonna be mean to me? Well, I'm gonna throw a dart at you.
And just one thing I want to hit with just the two mentalities of our guys in these cages here is that I love that very Snyder-esque Riddler here. The way they have Riddler here is that the way Snyder's characterized Riddler, especially in the Death of the Family thing, is that when he's in a cell, he knows how to escape. He just doesn't care about escaping. Like he could figure out like a billion ways to escape a cell, so you can never put Riddler in a cage. So I just love that we have that. So Riddler can easily, he can figure out multiple escape things. That's what he lives for. So he's super, he's easy. He's always he's multiple plans to escape. And I love here with the Penguin is that he's so skilled in how he understands people. That's why that Trey thing works. He knows the guard. If he's in a prison-like scenario, he alerts the guards and he can come in and club the crap out of the Riddler. So he understands people. The Riddler is just intellectually superior. Mm-hmm. Street smarts versus book smarts, essentially.
Okay, let's see. Now we're back with Ducard and Bruce. I'm sorry, Dragon. I am calling this man Ducard until we get his real name. I'm sorry.
Well, his real alias. So the shaman, his real alias.
His real alias?
Again, I told you we don't get the name confirmed. We just get the other title. We'll get there.
All
the shaman prepares Bruce for the final step of ridding Bruce of his painful memories.
Mm.
To let go, mainly finally let go of the emotions he has about his parents' murder.
Yeah, which is a big heap and dose of symbolism, which is essentially like, you've got to lock the pearls away, Bruce. You've got to lock the pearls in the safe. Remember the pearls? Remember Zack Snyder, Bruce? Sorry, I keep going back to Zack
again,
Snyder.
Miller came up with the pearls first.
I know. You're the one that's always praising the crap out of Zack Snyder, though.
I am. I like the pearls. You make the pearls sound like it's a bad thing.
Anyways.
So, Bruce,
no, I'm just saying they're an important device in Batman's character. Anyways, go ahead.
So, Bruce, importantly, the shaman emphasized that this has to be Bruce's choice. Again, he can't make it for him. Bruce has to make the choice to essentially stow the pearls away in the safe. Mm-hmm. To lock away the memory, lock away the emotions associated with the memory. And Bruce is hesitant in the moment. Importantly, Bruce's hesitation is going to be key in the episodes going forward. So Bruce hesitates, and he wants to get rid of the pain. Why wouldn't he? But he can't, because again, this pain is what defines Bruce. Mm. And I think it's definitely a hint that Bruce deep down he knows this is the wrong path. I think that's why deep down he's hesitating, because he knows this is too easy. This is again it's like kind of like it's being numb to things, and again kind of that Gordon mentality. Fear and kind of hesitation keeps us human, keeps us on the edge.
Yeah. See, so Bruce, he wants to do it as you said, but he can't, and so Ducard, whatever the hell his name is, he's just like, well, I think it's time I told you the truth, Bruce. Oh, yeah.
Yep, and that's going to be a big reveal.
Oh, yeah, really cool reveal there.
Meanwhile, Jim awakens. So Jim awakens, and he's chained to a chair in an abandoned courthouse. Again, if only Harvey Dent was actually doing stuff.
Oh, no. God.
But no, in all seriousness, I do kind of like, Judgment, and with the Court of Owls, all this Judgment talk. Actually,
they have Harvey Dent just there, like, just doing dances. Like, look at him go. He amuses us.
I just imagine like Harvey Dent's he's like, it's like playing hangman off the side by himself, and he's just like, look at the. And what do you think? Oh, what's there?
Okay.
Anyway,
I think Harvey Dent unequivocally gets more airtime on our podcast than he does on the actual show.
And I'm thinking just to be funny about it here. I know, I told you, unfortunately, poor Nicholas August here. Poor Nicholas August, the guy who plays Harvey Dent. He had another show with John Lithgow. And again, I watched the first episode just out of curiosity, and I got to tell you, not good. And here's the worst news: is that it's not even getting like a pity renewal. It was a one shot. So like the other show that he's been getting, which it also explains why he definitely hasn't been even underutilized even at all this season. Because he's been busy with the other show, which is completely for now. It's just getting canceled after one season. So all for nothing. Just poor Nicholas August can't get a break.
Okay.
I'm hoping season 4 rectifies that, man. Come on, he doesn't have a show again, and we can put up some room with some. Anyway.
All right. So let's see. So we've got Catherine back in the mix. She's just being all mysterious. Like, I had such high hopes for you, Jim.
Yep, she says she's been made a fool of. She regrets it because Jim could have played a pivotal role in Gotham's future. Which again, I love that line, love that mystique of Gordon on the Court side. That could have been interesting.
It's one of those things like with the series that they do a lot where it's kind of like, yeah, it's a really cool idea. I wish they would have lasted more than one episode with it.
Yeah. Again, I could have seen like how they may have been able to carry on at least one more, but again, it might have. You can only go Gordon undercover so long, just being witness to terrible things. I don't know. It's a little mixed territory. It was a cool idea. It might have been cool to see it go on. I would have loved to see it go on a little longer, but so anyways. So okay, let's see. So she asked Jim who else Jim's been working with. Harvey Bullock. She throws out there most likely and obviously probably. Jim tells her nothing. Calls Barnes her lapdog. Jim has this great line to him. I know you're a lunatic, but at least you used to stand for something. It's just
right.
These great kind of little digs at Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
Barnes, Captain Barnes is following me because we know you're an enemy of Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
So then. You Gordon again. Catherine's a great line. She's talking about the Gordon family. She says, "You Gordons have always been stubborn. Sad you won't see the end of your little story."
Importantly, stops and Gotham falls.
That's an important line. So it's a shame you won't see the end of our little story when the clock stops and Gotham falls. Sorry, I just want to get to it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. So
let's see.
Barnes puts the scythe on. He's getting ready to make some judgments. Himself,
yeah.
Catherine leaves.
Mm-hmm. Then let's see. So Barnes, doesn't he take the stand now? And he's like, Nathaniel Barnes standing by as judge, jury, and executioner.
Here's a pet peeve I have of the episode. So we get the trial of Jim Gordon has begun. Nathaniel Barnes presiding, judge, jury, executioner. Good bit. We don't see the trial.
You're right. We don't.
Just say, come on, Barnes. You built all that up and no trial.
I think it was probably a pretty short trial.
I mean, you got to imagine, yes. I mean, I don't know why they didn't put it in there because, again, Barnes doesn't really have a lot of material to work because, again, he's crazy. So, again, we list off a lot of charges.
Okay, let's see. We have the Mad Hatter, like, kind of interjects some, some good creepiness into a Lee scene at the very least.
So Lee finally does the logical thing and actually puts some blame on the Mad Hatter.
Twinkle, twinkle, pretty doctor, how I wish I could unlock her. Here in Arkham, what a wonder. Too bad her husband's 6 feet under.
Man, the Mad Hatter's so good. He's the only reason. Like, he's the good part of this scene.
Yes. I mean, I think it's fair to say that in any Lee scene, whoever Lee is playing against is the good part of that scene.
And again, just to be clear, we're only saying that with season 3. Again, the other seasons, she's been fine. Just this season.
This season, she's been off the rails, just completely off the rails.
Oh, yeah. All right. Oh, my God, I actually wrote Ugg in my notes. You're like, Ugg! Like the Peanuts Ugg.
Right.
Because basically, here we go. So here's the line I wrote Ugg in my notes. So
okay.
The conversation essentially starts off with her saying, she's making conversation with Matt Hatter, explaining why she's visiting, because he's bringing up Mario, and she's bringing up, I figured to myself, why blame the lunatic? So I blame Jim. And then I wrote, ugh, why? Just come on.
So basically, she's not just blaming. I just want to reiterate this for emphasis, Dragon. So she's not blaming Jim just for the death of Mario. She's blaming Jim for Mario getting infected in the goddamn first place.
Yes, because
it's crazy Cloud Cuckoo land here.
Absolutely. So then she's asking, why infect Mario, and then I really do like the reasoning for I like the reasoning for Mad Hatter's plan. I gotta say, just kind of he really learned how to stick at the Jim Gordon. I gotta give him that.
Mhm.
He saw that she still loved Jim when he picked Valerie Vale,
Mhm.
and basically to truly deny Jim love, because again the whole Alice the whole death of Alice thing he put on Jim Gordon's shoulder, which is why he targeted Jim for all this stuff, which is what Lee's
Sure.
blaming Jim for some reason. He to deny Jim Gordon love, which he sees that was definitely potential of with Lee before things went off the rails. He infected Mario so that Lee would, in the end, blame Jim for everything. Basically, turn her love for Jim into pure hatred for Jim Gordon. She points out that.
Which I gotta say, I think this is a little bit of like the writers kind of like being like, okay, this is why Lee is like this, all right?
Yeah. And that's like the only saving grace of the scene. And again, just in terms of like, as a plot from the Mad Hatter, it is kind of clever. But again, it's like the point of like they did too good a job.
It's cost us like so many just ugworthy scenes, like us getting like more frustrated with the show than we have since like the early season 1 Barbara stuff. It's so bad. So yeah, I don't think it's a really good payoff here. I mean, like you said, it's a good idea. I just don't think it's worth the pain that we've gone through.
Yes, and I really do like that the matter just kind of point. Basically, in this scene, also he gets the point of how stupid Lee's being, basically playing into his hand. That's kind of the other good thing in this scene. He's basically saying the other benefit of that plan is that for all this time you've been blaming Jim instead of actually mourning Mario.
Mm-hmm.
And Lee is really to blame for all this, and that's kind of what he says. And he says that's funny. And so I'm saying again, he's a gem, and Benedict Samuels, he's a gem in this season.
He really is. He really is. Yeah.
All right. Meanwhile, Penguin awakens after being tranked.
Yes.
Now we have this great
pick was confiscated.
Then Penguin just asks, "Are you happy with yourself? Did the guard did they club you? Yes. Then I'm happy."
See, they're like Penguin's kind of posing the question of why don't they just kill them, right? I believe it's Penguin that brings that up.
Yeah, Penguin strategizes. He's asking like Nigma about the Court of Owls. Basically they have one meeting with Catherine, and then the court's he knows that the court's planning an attack, so he tells Penguin this, and then Penguin proposes a truce. He proposes a truce to escape. Basically, he knows all.
This is the thing that I totally called.
Honestly, what I kind of feared the reason Penguin was doing that for is so he can realize, well, is there any point in me staying here so I can learn about the court? Sounds like there's not really going to be a chance of me interacting with the court, so I might as well escape now. I know
exactly. Right.
They're planning something. So then he proposes the truce.
You want to kill me? I want to kill you, but we have to escape. I love the deal they work out, Dragon. I love the semantics of this. I think Jimmy McGill will be proud of the legalities here. So the semantics are no murder on the premises, 6 hour time window before escape. Or after escape.
So after the escape, they have 6 hours.
I love that, Dragon. I love that little semantic.
They shake on it.
We help each other to escape together, so we may be free to murder each other on the outside. Oh man, such lunacy, but I love it.
Hey, I like the logic too. Like this is all they shake on this deal, so Nigma can concentrate instead of worrying that Penguin's going to kill him any second.
Mm-hmm.
I love they're addressing that. We don't have to worry about turning on each other, so we can actually focus on escaping.
Right.
Right. So meanwhile, the shaman showing Bruce one of his memories.
Yeah, this is a really cool reveal. It's very much, I love these different factions that are coming out because I'm imagining, Dragon, that this is sort of the origin or at least kind of a starting point for the League of Shadows in a way. And that what they're building here is the League of Shadows being almost kind of like an off branch of the Court of Owls.
You're somewhat right, Tiki. It's not exactly that, but let's just say you'll definitely see the hierarchy will be very clear, but
okay.
It's not going to be exactly like that. But again, next episode will clarify.
But like I said, no matter how it plays out, I really like how they're kind of like blending the League of Shadows into the Court of Owls.
That's an idea I've really been in love with this. I knew a little bit of it. I unfortunately I had a little bit of it spoiled to me, but just knowing that I thought it was really just an inspired move. court, which we'll get more into as it unfolds. So,
Sure.
the point is, importantly, the shaman says not only is this one of his memories, it's his truth. So he's really showing like the truth of why Bruce absolutely should buy into what the shaman's selling.
Mhm.
So he takes him to the memory, showing how the shaman, basically showing the shaman learning that the court had the Waynes killed because Thomas had threatened to expose the court, very much like Gordon's father.
Mhm.
Which again, maybe a little light parallel there. I don't know. So again, Thomas threatened to expose the court, which we knew a little bit about this before, but now we get to see kind of the scene play out. So the shaman was very upset because, and I love that this is very genuine coming from the shaman. That there was a respect for from the higher up of the Court of Owls. They knew that there was a respect for the Wayne family because the Waynes were a pillar of the city, and they. He honored the Wayne family. That's what the shaman did.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Kind of seeing the gray area here. Seeing that not every member of the Court of Owls is just like a mindless drone who's just going to kill people on order. You know what I mean? Really cool dimension we get.
And it's like out of no respect for like the Waynes have done to the family. You just instantly went for the kill option, and then they mentioned, well, Bruce Wayne wasn't harmed. That at least is something. And then they knife from outside the bottom of the sleeve, and he stabs him in the neck and kills him.
Right.
Because again, it's like, oh well, at least you left one survivor. Good for you, and just not following orders, killing both of them. You idiots. Yes. Let's see. So this kind of shows Bruce. Oh my God, this guy's in my corner, and he's trying to get revenge for what happened with the court.
Yeah, this was a really cool reveal, Dragon. I didn't see this coming. I always just kind of thought this guy was some sort of. I mean, I kind of assumed he had something to do with the League of Shadows, but I didn't anticipate him being so against the court.
Yeah, I didn't see I thought the Court of Owls was going to fall in line, where I didn't know that there was like an actual kind of divide between them.
Right.
So let's see. So, and then basically again, it's spelled out here that the court was a means to an end, allowing us to, importantly us, and we're going to see who the other side of that us is going forward. But importantly, allowing us to maintain order in Gotham, which of course fits in with what we love and what we know and love about the Court of Owls. Maintaining order in Gotham, which we've been calling from the very beginning, hoping that they were going to do, which we got.
Sure.
That's what all this is for, is to kind of maintain their own definition of order in Gotham. And again, these guys pulling the strings for the Court of Owls to do that. Bruce has a question. Bruce has questions following this, and then the shaman says, "Okay, one thing at a time. The court's day is over, and they must pay for their crimes. Basically, we're going to make sure they pay for killing your parents and all the pain they've inflicted on the city, falling out of line."
Mm-hmm.
And basically, this to me, and this is what I love about this. Basically, we kind of do it's kind of a weird comparison, but this is very much the kind of the seduction of Anakin Skywalker from the Star Wars movies.
I could see that. A little bit. Yeah.
I really like that as an idea. This is like the ultimate temptation. Basically, this is something we do with the League of Shadows stuff with Bruce Wayne, where of course he is. What the League is presenting to Bruce is very tempting because again, it's all order and protecting the world, even bigger than Gotham itself. There is always a temptation with the League of Assassins, League of Shadows stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the ultimate temptation, luring Bruce to leave, to his side, with the chance to make his parents murder pay and find justice, basically a way of getting justice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we missed the trial, unfortunately, but Barnes is telling. Yes. So Barnes is telling Jim that they could have cleaned up Gotham together. He's just saying, "Oh, it could have been great, Jim, but you stood against Gotham. How do you plead?" So we have to shoot. I mean, sorry, Tiki, do you have one?
Let me see. I plead to shoot your crazy ass and send you to Arkham.
Yeah, that's it. So
not as convincing as Ben McKenzie, but
basically I'll cop to doing that, but that's the only thing I'm guilty. If you count that,
then
yes,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I kind of messed that delivery up. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jim's ruled guilty and death by beheading.
Mm.
There's a fun little foreshadow there, just like putting the whole beheading thing out.
Yeah.
So Jim plays some mind games with Barnes, and I love this so much. I love that Jim's playing this mind game with Barnes, telling him, well, a few mind games in the ultimate payoff is what I really love, is that he's telling Barnes about the court's plan, which will infect the innocent and guilty with the virus. Which again,
and Barnes just can't stand for that. He's like, "You're saying that people who aren't guilty are going to die?"
Now, initially, again, that's what I thought the scene was going, but then Barnes kind of says, "You think the virus, basically is a bad thing." Of course, Barnes approves of the virus because, again, he's infected with the virus. So, yeah, I'll make everyone better. so,
Right.
Unfortunately, good idea, Jim, but yeah, it's. Yeah.
What about strength is a curse? What about clarity is a curse?
Exactly. And
see, then he kind of drops a bombshell that Lee came to her.
Yes. Something I wanted to put out just with the virus stuff. It's a symbol with the virus that occurred to me in this episode is that I love this. It's kind of hitting upon the Snyderian idea, which of course with Corvallis would definitely kind of be pumping throughout the season. Which again, I've always said we nailed this down. We got the show. This whole idea of with the virus, we're exploring that make or break idea of Gotham, which we're definitely going to keep going on with here and there and throughout the next couple episodes. This whole idea of people being shown that their true selves. We'll definitely kind of, basically, we see Madness's effect on Gothamites, and they'll film like what their eventual, basically, kind of what their eventual Batman selves will be, and they'll kind of be staking their claim if they can survive in Gotham, then they're definitely cut out for being in the city. If not, then they should get out. I'm saying I like that we're kind of doing this idea through the virus. That was kind of a cool layer that we got this episode with the virus. Anyway, so then we have the let's see, so then the Lee reveal. Look at this man trying to lure okay, I already went through it. So basically, Barnes then mentions. Sorry, correct. Oh, and here we go. Here's my favorite bit. Okay, so after Barnes says a little thing there, he asks for a last request, and I love this. It's one of my favorite part where he says, Jim asks to wear his badge when he's killed. Asks for his badge. His badge and gun are off to the side, and from one soldier,
I'm gonna die wearing it. I deserve that. One soldier to another.
Yes. Oh my god. Because one, just as a Jim Gordon bit, that's like to me, that's awesome.
I mean, I'd like to think that's like a mix of like, yeah, he's definitely got a plan and he's playing to Barnes' strength. But I think if his plan doesn't work out, then he genuinely would like to die with a badge on. You know?
Absolutely. What I mean? That's my mindset on that. Either way, I mean, Lee Gordon's gonna die with his badge on. Which I think that's such an awesome Jim.
Right.
Yes, he dies a cop in the GCPD. Yes. So Barnes, he admired again, like the one. It's the one thing he can reach of Barnes because they bonded as soldiers. So they kind of puts the badge on him, and as he puts the badge on him, then Jim he pulls the pin off a few grenades, and then Barnes frantically, he's throwing the grenades out the window before he can kill Jim. The GCPD and Bullock, essentially Bullock and the cavalry arrive. Barnes escapes. Unfortunately, no one takes a headshot, but then Barnes just jumps out the window and he lands on the meat truck.
There's a nut job running around in a leather jacket with an axe for an arm. I know this is Gotham, but come on, people, do something.
Oh god, Bullock has never had a bad line. They're all gems. All right, so no sign of Barnes, essentially, is what's said with that scene as well. Jim's, oh, this is great. This is just me kind of harping on kind of again the gadgets and kind of the guns and sort of stuff like this. So Jim arms himself with this cool little double-barreled handgun, which is awesome. It's like a sawed-off shotgun, but it's a handgun. It's really cool, nicely designed. Anyway, just wanted to kind of go up. It pays off in the episode, so just getting it there. So the plan is to get to Catherine before she realizes that Jim's not dead and Barnes failed. Mm-hmm. So Bullock learns that then, by serendipity's sake, Bullock learns, hey, I done you one better. I learned that we now have Catherine in custody. Hooray! Mm-hmm. End of the season. We're all good. Let's get some finishes. Unfortunately, it does not go that route. Then Alfred arrives. He gives him more bad news, and then we have this fantastic reaction from Bullock. Alfred arrives, telling him kind of the usual kind of the thing happens every season. Bruce Wayne's gone missing, and then Bullock saying, "Oh, why? Why can't anything be easy?"
God.
So then the stories link up. So now I love how they quickly get out of the way that okay, Jim's been undercover with the Court of Owls. Alfred and Bruce have been going after the Court of Owls. They link up, and they inform Bullock of all this, and Bullock kind of takes a moment because he's confused. That I'm sorry, did you say a clone? I gotta sit down. So that's the great thing about this season. We're grounding ourselves by acknowledging the craziness of things like this. Mm-hmm. So then they mentioned the Crystal Owl, which of course Bullock and Gordon are very familiar with because they just saw the Crystal Owl, know what's on the Crystal Owl. Now, the one they had was probably atomized in the explosion, all the chaos and stuff, and pretty hard to get back to. And thankfully, Alfred, he's a nostalgic fellow, so he kept the pieces from the whole Jerome mess.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. He never throws anything away. Good.
Yes,
Yeah,
very good.
good
So
practice.
importantly, the plan is to piece it together so they'll have the out and they can figure out what's going on with the Court of Owls. Meanwhile, Nigma.
Let's see. So, oh God. So Penguin is kind of just screaming as Riddler, has a shank up to his neck. Oh God. And then, the Talons come in and Riddler seemingly slits Penguin's throat. I gotta say, for an on-the-fly blood makeup job, this was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Then we have the Jello
the
surprise.
Wait, is that Jello? Surprise!
Yep, they get Dart, and then Penguin slices one of the throats.
Okay, then let's see. So Catherine's being
Your death.
brought.
Well, no, we have
Yeah.
the death line. The death was very convincing. Well, I've had some practice, haven't I?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so Catherine's being brought into the GCPD. Let's see. I don't know who says it, Jim or Bullock, but they have put her in the box.
Yes. So she, they ask her about the bomb, and Bruce Wayne, Gordon armed with information, he's kind of throwing some stuff at Catherine, asking about what the bomb is, and he knows that Bruce Wayne's going to put in the things here, and she plays coy, and she mocks Jim for thinking that she's the leader, which you think, look, Catherine, I wonder if the court's going to lose faith in things when they find out their leader's in custody. You think I'm the leader? You really have learned nothing. You don't know anything, do you? And then of course Alfred returns with the pieces, and mention oh my God, what happened to it? Well, we have a little Jerome callback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Following that, then Alfred learns that Catherine is in the box.
And he's just like, Bullock instantly eats his word. It's like, wait, no, it's not her. It's not her.
Because he realizes Alfred, of course, again, he's really protective of Bruce Wayne, and
again, Alfred goes into like full Liam Neeson mode here.
He just walks into the interrogation room, guns a-blazing, essentially, and he walks in there now knowing, okay, Catherine's the one has the answer. She's not giving in, and they have this fantastic thing where she initially, in this somewhat of a Dark Knight reference, is this the good cop, bad cop routine?
Yeah, I caught that too. Yeah.
So Catherine mocks the good cop, bad cop routine, and and just, again, folks, let me reemphasize the lesson. Don't take Bruce Wayne away from Alfred. I'm not a cop. Stabs her right in the hand. I'm a butler.
Oh, yeah, right.
I'm not a cop. I'm a butler. As he just stabs her in the hand, and she's like screaming in pain. There's such a fantastic moment.
And then this episode just turns into like a carnival funhouse as Barnes bursts in. It's just like, this episode just goes off the rails, but in a good way, I think, where it's like,
he enters with like the perfect action movie line to burst in.
Right.
Court is now in session.
Which of course reminded me of our judging Saul intro.
Yep, this thing, court for the Court of Owls, and court because it's all execution or judgment.
Oh God, funny
So
stuff.
very similar, and this is kind of a fun way things worked out here. Very similar to how Azrael broke into the GCPD. Barnes wrecks the GCPD now.
Right, and like I said, I love the timing of it because it's right in the middle of a really intense interrogation scene with Catherine, and as if things could get more intense, we have just, like I said, like crazy, like evil Judge Dredd, just like ha. Okay.
Jim's
right.
pulling Alfred off Catherine. You hear all this Barnes stuff going on. So it takes through things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Bullock who's pulling Jim off of Alfred, I think. But anyways,
well, no, it's Jim pulling Alfred off Catherine because, again, don't kill her. Don't slice and dice her when you need answers.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm sorry. So it's like they've got bigger problems, and they just have to get both of them out of there.
Yeah,
essentially. Let's see. Okay, so Barnes is just running around monologuing to himself. He's just again with the Incredibles called this, man. They called this so good with the monologuing. All of you corrupted this house with your weakness, your eyes. This place was a church to me. And then Catherine, she kind of makes a move that gets herself killed. Dragon, if she hadn't made this, she probably would still. She yells out for Barnes to help her, and oh good.
So let's not get too ahead of ourselves. She's screaming for Barnes, giving away the position and everything. And then he sentences everyone to death. He drops down, really awesome, brutally attacks him. Again, no headshot. Catherine tells Barnes, and here we go. Here's the big moment. So,
oh yeah,
just as Barnes is about finally get some of his judgment execution stuff in there, Catherine yells, just really tells off Barnes, saying, "Tell him to stop this nonsense. We gotta get out of. Enough of this nonsense, Captain Barnes. Get me out of here now." And just calling it nonsense truly offends Barnes, and then that leads to
this is not nonsense. This is justice.
And then he beheads her, and it's awesome.
Yep. I mean, it's an awesome, shocking moment, Dragon. I gotta say, I am sad. Like, she was an awesome character. I really, really loved having Catherine on the show as kind of a figurehead for the Court of Owls, and I know one of my guesses in terms of the speculation is going to revolve around that, so we'll get there. But seriously, Catherine, just really, really good role, throughout the season. She'll be missed.
Oh yeah, again, it is a shame to lose her, but just she was such a great representation of the court.
She was, yeah.
So now Alfred's peeved that now Bruce Wayne's good as dead.
Right.
Okay, let's see. And then I love that he attacks Barnes too. Just like Alfred's kind of distracting Barnes by attacking because he's so pissed off about now there goes our lead. Then he's monologuing, and then Barnes continues the monologue about Jim having a fitting ending. It's telling Jim how it's fitting ending here in the GCPD.
Mm-hmm.
Basically like the word of now he's going to die at the executioner's blade, and then as he's monologuing, Jim with that awesome kind of solid off handgun. He shoots him right in the hand, and basically shoots him right in the side.
It's a very precise shot.
The force of it, again, it's like a shotgun, but it's in the form of a handgun. Shoots off the scythe and the hand while it's going at. You will be judged. Bam, no hand. Then we have this great line by Jim, just kind of as he goes for the KO here, as he goes for the knockout. He says, "You know what, Captain? This place is a church." Bang! Knocks him out. Well, no, mine.
My church.
Yeah. That to me is an awesome Jim Gordon line, because of course he's going to own the GCP down the line. It's going to be it's his place. It's a great moment there.
Mm-hmm.
That's like one of those great foreshadowing moments.
Okay. Right. Okay, so we skipped over the trial, Dragon. We also skip over the escapades of Oswald and Enigma actually escaping, because we cut from them making the deal to them bursting out of the side of the building in an alley.
Well, two things, and one, just the last thing I forgot to do was we had a great shot of Jim standing in a GCPD in shambles, which again, great shot for the future. But anyway, so what I really love about them escaping just out of this back door into an alley, surrounded by homeless people, it's this great. I love that it's in a back alley, because it just sent all these stash houses. They're so well hidden in Gotham, places you never expect them to be. It was you wouldn't expect a secret lair just to be kind of your average back alley.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. So
they drop their weapons. They exchange taunts before the head started.
It's so fun.
And Riddler's gloating and telling Penguin that he alone has no chance against Barbara.
Oh, well, you might have Barbara Keene, but I happen to have a whole army of Hugo Strange's monsters at my command. But even if I were alone, you still wouldn't stand a chance. These two are we have so many professional wrestler style characters, Dragon. I feel like Barnes is doing an audition for WWE with his executioner shtick, and then I feel like Nigma and Riddler are Nigma and Penguin are kind of going at it, I'm gonna destroy you, you're going down,
It is kind of this great kind of classy survival of the fittest challenge between the two of them. Of you have your army and I have my army. May the best man win, sort of thing. Yeah. All right, let's see. So following that, again, they go their separate ways, and we'll see where that takes them. Then
Oh god.
and we
Okay.
and we have the aftermath.
Okay. Let's
So the
get through it
aftermath
together,
of all-
man. We can do it.
All right, so we have the aftermath of the GCPD, hoopla. Lee arrives, Jim thinking that she's here to help. Hey, maybe she's here to do something proactive.
Oh, I get it. You thought I heard about Barnes and I came to help. Well, no, Jim. I'm done with this place. I'm done.
I hate this scene for so many reasons. It's just
I know.
she obnoxiously claims to be picking up her stuff, not helping because again she's done with this place. She uses Barnes to make a sanctimonious point.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
There's no justice here. Maybe
he finally discovered the truth. There's no justice here. And look at you. You still haven't paid the pain that you've caused. What I want to do to her, Dragon. That's what I want to do to her. I'm sorry.
This is now a dated reference, but she's worse than Chuck in this scene.
That is a dated reference.
I know. I'm just saying at the time, basically, just worse than Chuck in at his most hypocritical days of Better Call Saul season 3. Let's just say.
I would say that. I would agree. I would agree. It is worse than Chuck.
Well, no, now I guess it's still running true, so it is worse than Chuck. So either way,
yeah.
Okay, not so dated. Anyway, worse than Chuck at his most hypocritical. Just
right.
Oh boy, just again, never. And then and here's what's worse. She gives away her plan too with all this talk of like you haven't even suffered yet. And, like there's this horrible it's like great in the sense of oh my god, this is so stupid. I can't. This is like the stuff I couldn't even tell you right here. She says Gordon's. She basically says basically it implies that she's going to do something, and says what did you say? She says never mind, and she basically gives away her plan.
It almost feels like it should be in like a parody or something. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Come on. She basically says you haven't paid for what you've done yet. Essentially, and it's like come on, it's stupid. All right. So Bullock Bullock's guy has reconstructed the owl. It's at the ready. So Catherine's death. They worry that Catherine's death may have accelerated plans, so they're going to assume everything's still going on. But now they have locations for all the court hideouts, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Shaman Bruce scene here. We got the Shaman presents Bruce with the same choice again. To lock away the pearls, lock away kind of the last remnants of the pain of his parents.
Mm-hmm. And Bruce actually goes through with it this time.
Yes, the only way to get justice against the court is to become numb to his family's death. Mm-hmm. And it's a great, and I tell you, with David Mazouz, again, the guy this kid understands Batman. I'm fascinated by it. Great acting in the scene, this moment of great reluctance and sacrifice on Bruce's face here when he's like, that family origin, that family is the origin. The death of his family is the origin of the pain of those pearls. Just locking that symbol away like that. It's it's him burying kind of the remnants of that pain that defines him so much. And without that, who is he? And that's kind of the terrifying question we're about to get an answer to. Mm-hmm. So he locks it away, and the shaman is pleased, and he asks, "How do you feel when you think of your parents' murder?"
I feel nothing.
To me, man, he said that. I said, it feels so sad and chilling.
Yeah, I hear you.
Because I mean, again, good for him, not feeling the pain of his parents' murder, but still, it's like he has to feel that though.
Because him feeling for his parents is Batman.
Exactly. I mean? It feels so dirty in a way. Like Batman without feeling sad about his parents. That's I mean, come on.
I'm trying to think of a good like slacker fictional character analogy, but nothing's coming to me. Anyways.
Anyway, so then he gives it, and this was a great reveal. I love this reveal here, that the town basically gives a history lesson on the towns. Essentially, he reveals that he's turned Bruce Wayne into a town, which is kind of cool and creepy. Mm-hmm. Here, the court takes, and this is very much from the books. This is basically the idea that the court takes towns from orphanages, and remember Court of Owls, the whole Nightwing was actually a member of destined to be a member of the Court of Owls. That whole reveal. Mm-hmm. And it's sort of like reveal like they not only they do pull from orphanages, which of course is the, let's just say, the inspiration for Doppelbruce in the book also was plucked from an orphanage. That was kind of the idea.
Right, sure.
They pluck people from orphanages, circuses, and et cetera, et cetera. They find people with potential for being Corvallis, and they train them to be Talons. Like basically, they go through ideally the same training that Bruce went through.
But of course, the whole idea with Ducard is that Ducard is now getting him on his side, and instead of being a member of the court, he's being trained with all the skills of the court, but is going to take the court down. Right? Am I understanding that all right?
Yeah, yes, but also there's this one other thing. But yes, all that stuff. Just in addition to that, it's also there's also this great line of like this. This has been done for over 200 years, which one is an 89 reference, which is funny. Gotham being 200 years old. Secondly, also connects the whole Catherine being the oldest member of Gotham. Corvallis has been going for 200 years. And basically what he says here is that the process does more than just remove feeling. He brings in a Talon, tells him to whenever this happens in anything, I always get really creeped out, and I hate this sort of thing. Makes you really cringe. I just hate the finger removal thing. It tells the Talon.
I hear you. I hear you.
I don't know what it is. I can't stand of all the limb removals. Finger removals just really weirds me out. Like, oh guys,
Dragon. Like, you know what? For me, anything involving like bamboo under the fingernails or anything like that, and he's like we kind of went over that with Daredevil season 2, right? With Stick. The anything having to do with torture and fingernails specifically just gives me the willies.
I'm saying like the ending of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang always weirds me out with the whole losing the finger. That to me is just a horrifying idea. Like losing a piece of yourself. Like oh god, it's like. Anyway, so he tells the Talon to remove his finger, and I just wrote my notes. Ick. Can you? And then they has this really eerie line where says, "I can make him eat it too, if I wanted to."
Ooh.
Just double ick. And then he says, pain can, and here's the line, here's the big reveal, that pain can scar us, but it also defines us. Take it away, and the mind becomes clay for him to mold. Now, what that essentially means...
Not the clay that molded Wonder Woman, but,
No, not the clay that molded Wonder Woman. Different clay.
I'm sorry.
And no, not Clayface either, different clay, third clay.
Not Clay Jenkins from 13 Reasons Why. Okay.
No, Tiki,
not Clay Aiken. Not Clay Aiken.
Or Clay Jensen. No, not Clay Jensen either.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways.
Anyway, my point is this is an important reveal though, that when he says that line, that's him kind of gloating a little bit over his plan. He's been doing all this to Bruce to make him into a Talon, as in he made him that guy. He made him subservient to what the shaman says now. Bruce is under mind control. Mm-hmm. That's the big reveal, that now Bruce is very subservient. That he basically tells him you should have kept your pain because it defines us. But now giving yourself to a cause fully, which means well, again, you're no longer kind of an individual player. You're part of a grander whole now.
Right.
So again, that's now he succeeded in luring Bruce into the trap. That's what all this labyrinth stuff's been building to. Bruce is now subservient like a Talon, and he's going to be going along with these horrible actions of the shaman. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. Then we have the last part of the episode here. Bullock, last two parts of the episode, I guess. Bullock projects the Owl's locations, revealing that we now project the various Owl hidden locations at the Court of Owls. And then Alvarez tells Bullock that Barnes escaped in Arkham Transport again. And by the way, we don't get an answer to this one either.
We don't?
Yeah, it just occurred to me. I completely forgot about it until now.
Barnes never comes back?
In the next couple episodes, no.
What?
I'll admit, I didn't realize that until this very moment. That, oh my god, yeah, Barnes doesn't come back either.
Okay. So let's see. On our island of misfit toys, we have, of course, the presidents are Montoya and Christmas Attic, Christmas Allen.
Christmas Attic. You're thinking of Luke Cage.
Yes, I am thinking of Luke Cage. Yes. So Montoya and Allen are like the mayors, and then Harvey Dent is like the Secretary of State, and then they're welcoming in newcomers like Doppelbruce and Barnes.
Yep.
Hey, anyway, so fellow abandoned Gotham characters.
So then here's the big reveal. So in addition to Alvarez just laying on the bad news that, hey, Barnes escaped his Arkham transfer, we just busted that guy 5 minutes. We busted that dude 5 minutes ago. Come on.
This really bothers me that they don't ever follow up on it, because it seems like it's like the cliffhanger of the whole episode.
Yeah, but again, just trust me. There's a lot of other stuff they got going on that's going to distract you from. That's why it's just occurring to me now. It's like there's a lot of stuff that goes on that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay.
I'm not saying it's not a problem. I'm just saying it just occurred to me at this moment because there's a lot to decompress in the next couple episodes.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so then big reveal. Oh, stupid reveal.
Okay. Okay.
So then Alvarez also brings up the bad news that all the blood samples are gone.
Mm-hmm. Gordon
And
kind
I
of.
wrote in my notes.
Yeah, Gordon deduces that Lee has the combination. What do you write in your notes? I'm sorry.
Curse you, Lee!
Yep. Yep.
So then stupid Lee injects herself as maybe some punishment for, I guess it's some sort of punishment or like self-fulfilling the dream. I don't know. I gave up on that. But the point is, I'm just saying I figured it's like she's injecting herself because to punish herself like the punishment she actually should have felt for Mario, yada, yada, yada. So importantly, she stupidly, again, knowing the effects in spades, she's going to Barnes. She saw it firsthand, drove him crazy. She went to Mad Hatter, find out, okay, it's all part of all part of a plan. Injected Mario, which actually threatened your life. So injects herself, knowing full well the danger that it's going to inflict. And just I wrote last thing I wrote about it was just learns nothing. Just learns nothing, and like she has Morena back, and I'm so sorry you have to you're sidled with this season. I'm sorry, but she gives, and she's. I hope she's having fun with it, but it's still.
I actually have written down in my notes like, well, this should at least be fun, right? Question mark.
Well, you'll see. The point is,
like fun nothing. In like a making fun of Barbara kind of way, like that kind of fun.
You'll maybe just again, she learns how the eyes go all virusy, and she gives like a smile, like, "Ooh, this is gonna be fun." Mm-hmm. And that's the end of the episode. Whoop-de-doo.
Okay, whoop-de-doo indeed. Whoop-de-doo indeed. All right. So, I'll have my little guessing game, Dragon, that'll go through really quick. Okay. Are we going to get some sort of, like, weird Barbara style, like, she kidnaps Gordon, and then there's some sort of weird, like, fake wedding or something ridiculous like that? Something tied into a wedding or a ceremony or something that Lee conducts for Gordon as revenge?
Wedding, no, but you're very warm.
On the kidnapping part?
On the kidnapping and Barbara S. Antics kidnapping.
Okay.
Yes, very warm on that front, but no wedding.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think of things. I am going to go ahead and predict that. Shoot. I'm sorry.
By the way, just this ending with Lee and all the stuff in the next episode, this is purely the stuff I'm telling you, like this stuff you wouldn't believe me.
Dragon, you kind of threw me off because like some of my speculation had to do with Barnes, so I'm kind of like trying to come up with.
I'm sorry, it's just that's. Would you like to go through it anyway? Just so
Sure, next episode is totally going to be a Barnes versus Gordon throwdown, and it's going to be completely unnecessary.
I'm going to say you're cold on that one.
Okay.
I'm not going to say very cold. I'm just going to say cold.
Okay, let's see. And I predict that there's going to be some sort of big shakeup with the court, which is going to result in Hugo Strange somehow becoming more involved.
Warm, but it's more divided in what you just said. But yes, It's warm on both fronts. Both things are going to happen. He's not as interconnected.
Shake up and Hugo Strange. Okay, fair enough.
Both things are going to factor in.
All right, and that's my guessing game for the week. Final thoughts, Dragon. I don't know, man. This episode just. I honestly think this is probably one of the weaker episodes of season 3, if I'm being completely honest. It's nothing terrible except for the Lee stuff, but I don't necessarily think it comes together all that well. Like, the Lee stuff is the obvious hindrance, and it's becoming more and more of a problem. I don't like the fact that Bruce and Barnes just get dropped. That really bothers me and kind of takes away from the episode in general.
Now, to be fair, let's just be fair in terms of just judging this. That You only know those two things because I told you those two things. You would have that gripe at the end of the season.
I know, but I'm still saying I'm still saying so. It's still a gripe. It's still a gripe. And yeah, I mean it's fine. It's just not a standout. It's there are some fun moments. There's some good Jim and Barnes stuff. Some good Court of Owls stuff. But overall, I guess the most memorable thing is also probably the most disappointing thing, and that's the fact that Catherine's dead. So,
yeah, there was kind of a fun, bizarre ending to the Catherine stuff, though.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I got. It was
on the whole,
it was fine. It just it wasn't my favorite.
Yeah. On the whole, again, this one has some good moments in it. Again, I agree with Tiki with the whole the Barnes versus Gordon stuff. They had a lot of fantastic stuff between Penguin and Riddler. That was a big highlight of the episode, obviously, and just. Again, I think the episode just on the front of Alfred being dead set on rescuing Bruce Wayne, all that's working. Just the Lee stuff is really crippling to the episode.
It really is. That is the big problem. Yes, totally.
It's the Lee stuff's crippling. Even knowing where it goes, just still it does. There's the rhyme and reason to it's just really not there. It just basically what they're going to be doing is based on this going forward is that basically this is their. I'm worried that Gotham might have a default setting when they run into a female character they just can't save, and I worry that's going to be the case going forward, just based on this and what they do with Barbara. That we go crazy with them, and then that's kind of our fix all. And we saw that work with Barbara. All I can really say going forward is that you saw what they made it work with Barbara. I'm just worried that. I personally don't think it works out as well with Lee, but you be the judge, and we'll see how Tiki's reaction to it is. But the point is, I would definitely worry that if that's going to be their go-to. We saw they fixed Ivy. They fixed Ivy very well. And, they fixed some other people without going just balls to the walls crazy with
sure.
Cares. But on the whole, just aside from Lee, it was another decent episode. Again, the Court of Owls, the mythos of the Court of Owls, and kind of that really acting on was just kind of going through like that really kind of big Bruce Wayne choice, and that end revealed to me. So again, there's really encapsulating just minus the Lee stuff for me. Just that's kind of where I'm at with it. It was enjoyable, just again, not 100%.
All right, take us out.
So remember, kids, no matter how dark and scary the world may be right now, there will be light. There will be light.
Until next time, when we go exploring Gotham yet again.
She loves me!
Ow! Did you just throw a freaking dart at me?
Ha!